Dear children, in this session we are going to learn the tiny teacher from the supplementary. In this story, the author writes about ants, the tiniest creature. He describes about the habits and habitats of ants. Ants lead exemplary life for humans in particular. The responsible, dedicated and societal discipline of ants can bring social reforms. Children, let's move on to the story. Okay. Tell me the smallest insect you have seen and the wisest also. Which one is? Is it the mosquito, or else is it the earthworm? Tell me that, or else is it that fly? Which one is? Yeah, it is the ant. The commonest and the smallest but the wisest insect. The story of an ant's life sounds almost untrue, but people have kept ants as pets and have watched their daily behavior closely. So we know a number of facts about this tiny, hardworking and intelligent creature. An ant uses its feelers or antenna to talk to other ants by passing messages through them. Watch a row of ants moving up or down the wall. Each ant greets all the others coming from the opposite direction by touching their feelers. See in this animation picture, both ants greets by touching their feelers. There are many kinds of ants. The commonest among them are the black or red ones. We have seen them since we were children, but we haven't paid enough attention to them. So where do they live? In their comfortable homes, which is nests or ant hills. Okay, so each has hundreds of little rooms and passages. In some of these rooms, the queen ant lays egg. Okay, the queen ant lays eggs. Others are nurseries for the young ones, which is called grubs. The nurseries for the young ones called what? Grubs. Okay. Workers have their reserved quarters. They spend most of their time searching for food. Some rooms serve as storehouses for this food. The soldiers have separate barracks. No worker has ever tried to live in soldier's house. So what? Soldiers have separate barracks. Okay, here barracks means what? Long rooms for soldiers. Okay, and then what? No soldier has ever gone out searching for food. No worker or soldier or cleaner has ever harmed a grub. So, you see, an ant's life is very peaceful. Each does its share of work intelligently and bravely and never fights with other members of the group. So, what an ant's life is very peaceful. Then the queen is the mother of the entire population of the colony. Who? The queen. Queen is the mother of the entire population of the colony. It lives for about 15 years. Okay, it lives for about 15 years. It has a pair of wings. Okay, it has a pair of wings, but it bites them off when? It bites them off after its wedding flight. Okay, it bites them off after its wedding flight. This wedding flight takes place on a hot summer day. Okay, so on that time the queen leaves the nest and goes out to meet a male ant, okay, to high up in the air. In the air. On its return to earth, it gets rid of its wings and then does nothing but lay eggs. The eggs hatch and grubs come out. Soldiers guard them. Okay. Workers feed and clean them. See, and also carry them about daily for airing, exercise and sunshine. It's very nice, na? So after eggs hatch and grubs come out, soldiers guard them, workers feed and clean them, and also carry them about daily for airing, exercise and sunshine. So 2 or 3 weeks later, grubs become what? Cocoons, and live without food or activity for 3 weeks more. Then the cocoon breaks and perfect ants appear. See how ant appear. How an ant appear. So now it's time for teaching and training. So new ants learn their duties from old ants as workers, soldiers, builders, cleaners, etc. So after a few weeks training, the small ants ready to go out into the big world of work. See how? It's very nice. Then what will happen after that? An ant hill is a home, but not only for ants but also for some other creatures like what? Beetles, lesser breeds of ants and the green fly. Why do ants want these alien creatures to live in their nest? Why? For several reasons. Some give off smell pleasant to the ants, then senses, others give sweet juices, and some are just pets or playing things like cats and dogs to human beings. There is a lot that human beings can learn from the ants. They work hard, have a sense of duty and discipline, maintain cleanliness, and look after their young ones really well. The indeed could be called the tiny teachers. Okay. Children, what do we learn from the tiny teacher? 3 things are there to learn, which we can learn from the tiny teacher, or hard work, sense of duty and discipline. She is the author for the tiny teacher, Gil Weisse. The author of the tiny teacher is Gil Weisse, who writes about the various religious and spiritual texts. Her extensive experience and knowledge have seen her commissioned to supply agreed syllabus and support materials for several local authorities. Okay. She is a qualified teacher and religious education consultant specializing in primary and early years education. Okay. Now let's see the summary of the tiny teacher story. The tiny teacher is a story that teaches us about the tiniest teacher we can learn from. It tells us about the ant who can be a great teacher if we look closely. An ant is a creature that can teach us great things about how to become disciplined more. They are so small yet they fulfill their duties with full dedication. In fact, they carry out their tasks very sincerely. Further, they are also very hardworking and intelligent as well. You will see them perform a lot of duties from a cleaner to a soldier. The ants inhabit an ant hill where there are hundreds of little rooms and passage for all the ants. They have a queen ant who lays eggs that become perfect ants. The queen learns all the duties from the old ant and gets ready to survey in the world. Thus, they are creatures who teach us a lot of great things. Now let's see the new word in this chapter. Ant hills. Ant hills means what? The house built by ants. The next one is feelers. Feelers means what? An organ of touch in insects. Next one is antenna. Antenna means a feeler organ on the head of an insect. Grubs. Grubs means what? The young ones of ants. Then barracks. Barracks is long rooms for soldiers. Cocoons means what? Covering. Thank you, children. We'll meet you in the next session.